What is going on, everyone? So today we're going to be taking a look at the new QiYi Magnetic Clock. Now I am really excited for this one, pretty much just because I think this is the new best magnetic clock on the market, or I guess best clock for that matter. I know this Shanghai Magnetic Clock came out not too long ago, and after setting up, this one is actually really nice, but just a few weeks later QiYi released this bad boy, so I am really excited to get into this and see exactly how good the performance on this is. Oh my gosh, that thing just looks so nice. The clock itself is so aesthetic looking, and I mean, all together with the packaging, it'd be really sad if this thing weren't good at all. But yeah, so we've got the clock here, the puzzle, we've got some instructions for clock, then also some extra Team QiYi cards, I think, and just some product cards. Alright, and nothing else in the packaging. But into the puzzle, so we have the clock right here, and it does come with a little display piece, which I think is just super extra, but I suppose it's a nice little touch from QiYi, just considering the aesthetic of this clock. And so I do have the Shanghai Magnetic one here to compare it to, and just based on the things that I'm hearing of the QiYi, I really don't think this one can compete with it, but I think it'll be a really great baseline to compare it to, just because this thing is $10, whereas the QiYi one is $30. But if you do order from SpeedCubeShop.com, then you can use my code TCK for discounts on all your orders. Alright, but getting into this clock though, let's just give it a few turns and see how it actually is. Oh my, okay. Yeah. This thing turns so nicely. I mean, first off, these gears, you can actually turn them. They're so smooth. If you watch my unboxing on the Shanghai Magnetic Clock, the gears were not good at all, and the clocks themselves, some faces were just stuck, and it was a whole mess. But this thing is just so smooth, really effortless. The pins themselves are really light and smooth also. And if you can't already tell, the pins are actually much longer. And so I guess that is a good thing, just because it's going to be a little bit more distinct when they are up or down. Because on the Shanghai one, it is definitely a bit harder to tell, but the pins are a lot more tactile than this QiYi one. Yeah, the QiYi one is just super light to move. It really doesn't take any effort at all. And same goes for the gears. They're very easy to turn, and they're super fast and very light feeling. And now this could be a good or bad thing. You know, if you're a clock solver that maybe needs a little bit more tactility, then the QiYi one might be a little bit tricky for you to use, just because you're not going to get that very strong click or just that resistance that you might be getting from the Shanghai one. And so the Shanghai one is definitely a lot more controllable feeling. But if you do want something that's just a little bit smoother and lighter feeling, then the QiYi is definitely the way to go. I mean, just look at this. I can just give it a little flick and it's gonna turn 360. And also a cool thing to note is that the QiYi one is fully magnetic. So it doesn't only have magnets in the pins, but also in the dials too. In each clock face, it has magnets on each hour. So yeah, that's definitely really unique, and I think that's the reason why it feels so smooth and so light. And I mean, just the overall aesthetic, it looks so much cleaner, and it just feels a lot more durable and high quality compared to the Shanghai. And yeah, I mean, out of the box, this thing was just not good at all. But after a quick lubrication, it definitely got a lot better. But just the turning, you can definitely feel that the QiYi one is a lot more high quality. But yeah, again, it really just depends on your turning style, and if you can actually handle the super fast and light turning style of this QiYi one. If not, then the Shanghai is definitely the way to go. I've been able to get some pretty good times on it. I average around 17-18 seconds, and I've broken a lot of PBs with this one compared to the older Lingao ones that people normally use. But with the QiYi one, I might have to see how I do with it. As I said before, I'm not that experienced with clock, but I feel like just because this turns so nicely, I might be more motivated to practice clock. But I guess the only thing that I would have to be worried about is just not being able to control the speed, because I might accidentally overshoot, or, you know, it just might not be tactile enough for me to cleanly turn it to the gear or dial that I want. Do I want to do this all on camera? Honestly, I might embarrass myself, but you know what? That is what YouTube is for. So I'm going to break out my phone and let's see if we can get a quick solve in here just to give it a little test. All right, I'm just going to scramble this a little bit more. And I am definitely not that experienced in clocks, so don't expect too much, everyone. but I'm gonna give it a shot. So let's go ahead and see how this goes. Oops. Yeah, this thing is definitely super light. I'm absolutely gonna have to get used to it. I accidentally pushed down that pin at first, and I really shouldn't have. Yeah, it's also, I'm not really sure when it's stopping, so I have to be a little bit more careful and not so reliant on just the clock itself being tactile and just stopping right then and there. I just feel like I have to be a little bit more careful, but yeah, so that was a 1930 solve. Not too bad for my first solve on this thing. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna have to practice with this a little bit more, just kind of get used to the turning style, because I'm sure a lot of us have been so used to the slow, grindy, clicky feeling of older clocks. So yeah, the QiYi one is definitely gonna have to be practiced with a little bit more just to get used to it. Is it sad that we're all kind of used to bad, older turning clocks? So yeah, I'm gonna have to just give it a few solves and do some averages with it to see how I actually like it. But I guess first impressions right now, if you really like clock and you're definitely all in for getting better with the event, then I'd say definitely go ahead and splurge for the QiYi. It just makes the solving experience so much more enjoyable. But if you're a person that maybe wants to give clock a try and you're not really too sure how the event goes, then definitely try out with the Shengshao clock first. Out of the box, you're gonna think it's absolute trash, but trust me, just give it a little quick lubrication and it's gonna be way better. So I know QiYi teased this a couple years back and it took a long time for it to be finally produced, but I think the whole waiting period was definitely worth it considering the high quality of this thing and just the actual performance of it. It definitely shows in the final production version. So I'm gonna have to practice with it and see how I personally like it and just get a better feel for it. But that's gonna wrap it up for this unboxing. So I hope you guys did enjoy it and I'll see you guys in the next one.